Hello, I'm John Cunningham, and welcome to the Synergy Personal Development channel. Today we're going to be talking more about my book, Win the Day, and we're actually going to get into the first section of the book, which is all about you. In fact, the first section of the book is called You, because what we really want to focus on when we are working with understanding how to overcome depression, stress, and anxiety is we really want to make a good relationship with ourselves. Oftentimes people don't want to spend time alone by themselves. So they fill up their time with things like watching TV, or reading a book, or calling friends on the phone, or scrolling social media. And the idea of sitting in a quiet room by yourself is terrifying. This is a huge problem that really needs to be solved. Because if you can't spend time with yourself and you can't enjoy the company of the person that you know better than anyone else in this whole wide world, like, why would anyone else want to do that? How can you be the person you want to be if you don't even like you? So we really want to focus on you building a good relationship with yourself. And that's the idea of the first section of my book, Win the Day: How to Win Your Battles with Stress, Anxiety, and Depression. So let's just go over the chapter titles, and I'll give you a little bit of a rundown as to what's in each one. Hopefully this will help you to have a better understanding of the importance of a relationship with yourself, and maybe along the way you'll get a couple of tips about how to do that better. So the first title is called Believe in Yourself, and this is so important. You need to really trust yourself that you are working in your own best interest. Oftentimes people who have problems like, for example, self-abuse, or people who are cutters, people who get down on themselves. And if you remember Fight Club, right? And and in the end, what did they do? They were actually fighting themselves, right? Because they were unhappy with the people that they were inside. Right? We need to really find the person inside of you that you like. It might not be all of you, and that's fine. Because what we really want to do is bring out more and more of the authentic you that you like, that you can share with the world, and that can make you feel a sense of satisfaction with your life, and that you actually have a purpose. So once we get past believe in yourself, the next thing that we're going to look at is the first love is self-love. And this chapter really focuses on we can't give away what we don't have. Oftentimes when we're not happy with ourselves, we're looking to give things to others as a way to feel a sense of satisfaction. We give others our time, we give others our service, right? We give others our love, right? If we really even have that, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. We give people our affection and hope that it comes back to us. But in reality, you cannot give what you don't have. So if you want to give others love, first you have to love yourself. If you want to give others hope, first you have to find hope in yourself. If you want to give others a skill, right, or some of your abilities, you have to develop those yourself too. And a good relationship with yourself is no different. All right, so what you need to do to start to feel a little bit better and start to overcome the anxiety of life, and to really, for me, this was like a key turning point in my depression, especially when I got to a manic stage, because the manic stage was usually caused by someone else pushing my buttons. And then the idea for me, and I'm no psychologist or psychiatrist, and I don't intend to present those ideas to you here, but for me, what happened, like when I had a manic stage, right, the times between the things that triggered me got shorter and shorter. And so then like those manic stages would come back faster and faster, right? And so the way that I got over that was to separate other people from myself and not let them pushing my buttons really impact me in as great a way as it would have if I relied on them for all of my sense of self-worth. So the key to that was really creating a good relationship with myself and being able to look in the mirror and be confident, or at least comfortable. I mean, confidence is, if you're really struggling with depression, confidence in yourself is a few steps down the road. But being comfortable with yourself is not so far away. Right? Those things that make you uncomfortable about yourself, put those things aside. And the things that make you comfortable, the things that you like, bring those more to the forefront. If you're not sure of what those are, think about the things that other people compliment you on. Or for example, like, I really like your singing, or you're such a good cook, that you can get out of bed, right? Give yourself some cheers and celebration for being able to do that. Take whatever step it is, right? And again, right, we'll talk about that more in detail, but the idea here is to find those things about yourself that you can praise, that you can be proud of, that you can appreciate, and that will start you down the path to finding the love of yourself. Okay. The next chapter, chapter 3, is called Believe in Something Higher. And this is really a good way to ground yourself, because if we think that we are the be-all and end-all of our lives, it all starts with me, it all ends with me. When things go badly, there is no escape, right? There is no one or no way for you to get a check and to get more, a greater source of knowledge or information, or a greater, like, to go, because everything's relying on you. And none of us are that smart. None of us are that skilled. And if you're battling stress, anxiety, or depression, it's definitely not you. I know for me, it's definitely not me most of the time. There's someone smarter than me. There's someone who's done whatever I'm doing. There's someone who's done it better than me, right? And so what do we need to do? We need to find a relationship with something higher than ourselves. For me, I call that God. God the Creator, right? God, a God of love, who is our benevolent Father, and who's watching over us and wants us to be the best possible versions of ourselves, because he has a grand plan for what he wants the world to be, and going forward in light. And I have some purpose in that plan. That's me, right? If you are not a believer in the Christian God, you may think that God is nature and your connection to nature and our place within this world, right? You may think that the thing that's higher than you is the community around you and your participation in that. Like, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter, but there is something that's bigger than you that you're connected to, and identifying what that is and starting to build your relationship with it, because that is going to be the place that you go when all seems lost. And really, for me, that connection to something higher really came when I read the Bible from cover to cover. I did a year plan for reading the Bible. I read the whole thing, and it really started to make my connection to God And now I can go back and look at that verses I highlighted and think like, what does that mean to me? I can look at other kinds of spiritual reading and really get deeper into my connection to my faith. And even when my faith is in doubt, as it sometimes is, that also helps to build the strength of my relationship to my God, because of the fact that when I'm questioning, I'm thinking, and that means I'm getting deeper and I'm building that relationship deeper. And again, it doesn't matter what it is. If your connection is to nature, like understanding the seasons, and for example, what's the wildlife that you see during different seasons, and what are how does the flora change, right? How does the vegetation change, right, from season to season, and what is your connection to that? If it's your community, right, like how are you making a contribution to your community? What are you expected to, and how do you make that? How do you make that commitment and fulfill it? Right. So whatever it is, right, you need to have that connection to something that goes beyond yourself, because none of us are the be all end all of life in and as we know it. The next chapter is if you want to have a brighter future, you need to release the past. This, my friends, releasing the past is so important to you moving your life forward. The past is gone. It is out of here. Whatever happened to you in the past, it's a distant memory. It's a lesson, right? Or maybe it's, for some of my friends, it's a horror that they don't want to revisit. It's a trauma. Right, it's a joy or a celebration, but whatever it is, it's over with. And now we are in the moment. I'm in this moment right now at 5:30 Japanese time on a Friday afternoon, recording this video for you, and you're in the moment of whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the world, watching this video right now. Be in that moment. Enjoy it for what it is, because a minute from now it's gone and you're in the next moment, and then a minute from now that is gone, right? An important thing for being in the moment is when you have a conversation with someone face to face, put down that cell phone. Look be with that person and enjoy your time with that person, and work on developing your communication skills so that you get the value from that person's time. Be in the moment, because it's fleeting and you're there for a reason. And so absorb what you can, because it's going to help you take the next steps that you need to take to get over your anxiety, for example, or to get out of that depression, right? Or to overcome your stress, feeling that the world is closing in on you, right? Just by being in the moment and using all of your skills, abilities, your senses, right, to really get focused on what's happening and what you can do to make the most of that situation. Chapter 5 of is find a purpose, and really, like, the key point in this chapter is that if we just live life from day to day, we go to work, we come home, we turn on the TV, start streaming video, or listening to music, or whatever it is, that is really of no value besides relaxation and relieving our stress. I put that in quotes because it's not really relieving your stress, it's just escape, right? And so the idea here, right, is to find some purpose, right, in your life, whether it's daily. And what I do for daily purpose is I look at the things that I've done to win the day. What are my successes? What are the things I've done that have moved my life forward, right? Or whether you're working on longer term projects and you're really it's kind of a grind, but you're taking one step closer to getting that achievement, right? The idea here in finding your purpose is have something that you're doing that contributes to the greater good of society, right? That contributes to your family, that contributes to your community, that contributes to your work. Yes, something that is beyond you, that actually gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of contribution, right? As you're doing these things, it's really hard to look in the mirror and say, I don't like that person. And so, right, these things that you're actually finding a way to get out and make some kind of contribution to the world around us are things that are going to make us feel better about ourselves. And little by little, we are getting that confidence that we can live a life that is one that we can be happy with. And the last section of, or the last chapter of the you section is your life is your responsibility. No one else is responsible for your life. So don't play the blame game. This is some pretty tough love here, because it's easy to say, oh, well, my life sucks because I didn't get a raise. Or, I applied for 10 jobs and no one called me back. Right? Like, what's wrong with them? It's not what's wrong with them. It's what's wrong with you. Right? If you applied for 10 or 20 jobs and no one's called you back, you need to fix your resume. If every time you go out with friends, right, you end up having a fight and the next day you have a hangover, like, that's on you, right? Yeah, drink less or go out with different friends. Like, everything that happens in your life is either it's a lesson for you to take and do something with to move your life forward. So don't blame other people for your life. Take responsibility, right? That's what adults do. Don't disappoint yourself. If you're going to make a promise to yourself, and keep it. Don't lie to yourself. Be true. If you lie to yourself, the only person that you're hurting is you. And we don't want to do that. You're too valuable of a person. You don't deserve that kind of treatment. Treat yourself better. And this is the whole idea of being responsible to yourself, is build a strong and going back to the full section of section 1 is be accountable to yourself. Make yourself feel like you're a person of value. You do that by building that love of yourself, by being committed to yourself, by treating yourself as the most important person in the world. Right? And then finding your connection to the outside world. Right? And so now that you have this connection to yourself and you're feeling good about yourself, right now you can use that to keep building and getting stronger and stronger and feeling better and better about yourself. And when you do that, right, you're more able to handle all these things that come at you from different angles. Like I talked before about manic stages and how they get shorter and shorter. If you realize that what's triggering you is outside of you, then those triggers are going to decrease. All right, and we'll talk about this more when we get into section 2 in the next video. But those triggers are going to decrease because we can block the outside world if we are strong in the inside world. So section 1, you, is about getting strong on the inside world. Love the person that you are. Look in the mirror and say, I love you. I really do. I care for you. I really do. And how can I help you to be the person that I envision you being? How can I help you to be the one that you want to be? That we've seen since when we were kids, me in the mirror. When we were kids, right, we had this idea about what kind of life we wanted to live. And now we're nowhere close to that. Well, let's take a look at how we can get little by little towards that person, towards that dreamer, towards that achiever. All right, and you're going to do that by creating a good relationship with yourself. And that's what section 1 of Win the Day is all about. You having a good relationship with you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you have any comments about this, please write them down below. Also in the show notes, there's our ways that you can connect with me, and if I can help you in any way to build that strengthy relationship with yourself, let me know. That's what I'm here for. That's why I wrote this book. Like, I did it. I went from a person that didn't want to look in the mirror, that hated myself, that looked down all the time, that said, woe is me, and who's going to help me, and oh, my life sucks, to, woohoo, my goal is to touch the sun. I want to be up there, being on top of the world, and I'm going to get there because I believe in me, and I'm never going to give up. And I want you to be a never going to give up person on yourself too. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Check out my book, Win the Day. There's links below to my website about it. And again, like I said, if I can help you in any way to start to build that great relationship with yourself, yeah, hit me up. I'm here for you. Thanks again. You guys rock. For Synergy Personal Development, this is John Cunningham. I'm out, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.